been downright cheeky because well, I'd had auditions before, you know what auditions are like, you know.
Susan's story begins with a sense of being misunderstood from the moment she entered the world. Born into a large, hard-working Scottish family, she carried labels placed on her before she was even old enough to understand them. Growing up in Blackburn, she often felt like the outlier, shaped by a mixture of love, hardship, and constant reminders that she was different. Her early years were filled with challenges, medical concerns, emotional strain, and the complicated dynamics of a family already struggling to stay afloat. Yet within all that difficulty, there was always a quiet resilience forming, a spark that would eventually become the foundation for her extraordinary rise. Growing up under pressure, Susan's childhood unfolded in a small home where love and strain lived side by side. Her mother, Bridget, had risked her life to bring Susan into the world, and that sacrifice shaped a deep bond between them. Her father, Patrick, scarred by wartime experiences, battled his own inner storms, leaving the household tense and unpredictable. At school, Susan faced rejection, bullying, and misunderstanding from teachers and peers who didn't know how to support her. She struggled to fit in while dealing with epilepsy and a reputation unfairly built on assumptions about her abilities. Still, underneath the pain, she learned how to endure. Those early trials carved a strength and sensitivity that would later give her voice its unique emotion and depth, even though she had no idea then how important that would become. Misdiagnosis and the long road to understanding. For nearly 5 decades, Susan carried the weight of a mistaken label. People assumed she had permanent cognitive limitations because of her difficult birth, and that belief shaped every environment she entered. Teachers underestimated her, classmates mocked her, and even family members unintentionally viewed her through a distorted lens. It wasn't until much later, when she finally met with a specialist, that the truth emerged. She had Asperger's syndrome, a form of autism, and her intelligence was above average. This discovery was both healing and heartbreaking. It validated her lifelong struggles while revealing how much had been misunderstood. With this new clarity, Susan finally saw herself with compassion rather than shame, understanding that her challenges had never been a sign of weakness but a different way of experiencing the world. Dreams interrupted and a life put on hold. In her mid-20s, Susan experienced her first brush with love, only to have it abruptly taken away when her father ended the relationship without her knowledge. That moment left a lasting imprint, deepening her sense of isolation. While her siblings moved into adulthood, Susan stayed home, dedicating her life to caring for her aging parents. It wasn't a sacrifice she talked about, but it shaped decades of her life. She tried pursuing music through small auditions and recordings, but each opportunity seemed to slip away. After her sister Kathleen died suddenly, the grief became overwhelming. Susan stopped singing, withdrew from the world, and let her dreams fade into silence. Her mother's encouragement remained her only source of hope, though even that couldn't pull her forward until much later. A promise that changed everything. Losing her mother in 2007 left Susan devastated. For almost 2 years, she lived quietly, rarely stepping outside and barely speaking to anyone. Her world grew smaller as grief filled the spaces once held by music and family. Yet tucked inside, that sorrow was a promise she had made. She would audition for a show her mother believed could change her life. In late 2008, she forced herself to honor that vow. Without glamour, without experience, and carrying years of doubt, she filled out the form for Britain's Got Talent. It was a moment of trembling courage. She walked into the audition hall unsure of herself, but determined. That single act of bravery, born from love and loss, set the stage for one of the most unforgettable moments in modern entertainment. The audition heard around the world. When Susan stepped onto the Britain's Got Talent stage in 2009, almost everyone dismissed her before she spoke a word. The audience smirked, the judges braced for embarrassment, and expectations were painfully low. But then she sang the opening notes of I Dreamed a Dream, and the room shifted instantly. Shock gave way to awe as her voice filled the hall with emotional power that left people standing in disbelief. Overnight, millions of viewers around the world were moved by her unexpected brilliance. Her audition became a symbol of shattered stereotypes and second chances. It wasn't just her voice that captivated people, it was the reminder that talent and worth cannot be measured by first impressions. Susan's life changed almost faster than she could comprehend, and the world embraced her story as one of pure, inspiring surprise. The highs and costs of sudden fame. Her rise was meteoric, but it came at a steep emotional price. The pressure of instant global attention pushed Susan to her limits, especially during the Britain's Got Talent final. After finishing as runner-up, the emotional toll became overwhelming, leading to exhaustion and a temporary stay in a clinic for recovery. The media frenzy intensified, often crossing boundaries that left her feeling exposed and misunderstood. Even industry leaders acknowledged the situation had gone too far, yet Susan displayed remarkable resilience. Within days, she returned to the stage, joined the talent tour, and proved she was far stronger than the chaos surrounding her. Despite the challenges, she transformed hardship into triumph, showing that fame had not broken her spirit but deepened her determination. Breakthrough success and a complicated family. Chapter: Susan's debut album became a global phenomenon, breaking records and surpassing sales expectations worldwide. Her voice resonated with listeners from every background, and she quickly became one of the most successful new artists of her time. But as her career soared, tensions within her family grew. Generosity that came from a genuine desire to help did not bring closeness. Instead, misunderstandings and financial disputes pulled relatives apart. Susan found herself caught in the middle of emotional conflict she never intended to cause. Her kindness became a source of strain rather than unity. Despite giving away a substantial portion of her earnings to relatives, she still struggled to maintain peace. It was a painful lesson in the complexities of success and the unpredictable ways money can affect relationships. Health challenges and personal growth. As Susan navigated her career, she also faced serious health concerns. Being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes forced her to completely rethink her lifestyle, motivating her to make changes that demanded discipline and courage. Later, learning she had Asperger's syndrome provided answers she had sought her entire life, giving her greater self-understanding and a new sense of control. She also experienced moments of personal joy, including a tentative step into romance, something she had never imagined possible. Through it all, she remained grounded, continuing to live modestly in her childhood home and staying true to the values she grew up with. Her simplicity, even in the face of financial success, showed that her sense of self was rooted not in fame, but in authenticity. A return from silence and a new beginning. In 2022, Susan suffered a stroke that threatened not only her ability to sing, but her independence. For a long period, she withdrew from public life, focusing entirely on rebuilding the strength and voice she feared she had lost forever. Her recovery required intense therapy, patience, and unshakable determination. Slowly, note by note, she reclaimed the gift that had changed her life. When she returned to the Britain's Got Talent stage in 2023, singing the song that had first made the world fall in love with her, the emotional impact was profound. By 2025, she had regained most of her vocal ability and stepped back into the spotlight with renewed purpose. Her message was simple yet powerful. She was back, grateful, and ready to begin again.